So I've mentioned that if we don't specify this port, we get a randomly allocated port. So let me quickly show you. So in here, have a look. The customer node service right here has this port right here on every single node. So if I go back in here and then delete this, save, and then let's just apply the basically the YAML again. So I'm just being lazy here, but kubectl apply -f customer deployment.yaml. There we go. So here you can see that's been configured. If I view the service again, have a look. So this now has been randomly allocated, right? And this is between the range that we've been talking about. So 30,000 and 32,767. So in here, so what we're going to do now is, so remember, if we say IP, so let's just get the IP for the first, oh, actually the second node. So this one here, right? So here I'm going to press Control C, or actually Command C. Let's SSH into SSH, and then we're going to SSH into, Minikube, and then SSH. So SSHing into node 1. And again, let me just come out of that. kubectl get, and then nodes. So now SSH into this node right here as follows. And then if I scroll up, so this is the port that's been open, right? So let's say curl local host. Let's try first local host, and the port was 30. Oh my god. So 30617, and then /API /v1 / and then customer. Enter, and this works. So again, let's now try and basically send a request to this node right here. So the IP address was the following. So let me just Control C there, and then say curl, and then not that. So we want this IP address, and then colon, and then the same port. So 30617 /API /v1 / and then customer. And there we go. See that this works. So I just wanted to show you exactly that if we don't specify the port, then we get a randomly allocated port. Now again, so this is actually me SSHing into the boxes and then testing that each port is open. So if I press Control C for a second, Command D, so I want to come out, and then I can say Minikube, or actually let's just get a service. So kubectl get, and then svc for service. And because we are using Minikube, we can say Minikube, and then service, and then customer -node. There we go. This actually opened this URL on my web browser on my second monitor. So let me just grab this, Command C, and you can see opening service in default web browser. So let me just go back in here and here before. So let's just take this, paste, oops, I copied the wrong thing. So everything in here. So Command C, go back, and let's paste that in, enter, and you can see that it does work. If we test customer, and we get the exact same output. So this is awesome. So just one thing to bear in mind is that the IP address for the node, so if you are running, for example, in AWS, for example, you have to bear in mind that that will be the IP address for the instance itself, right? So the VM itself. So let me go back to VS Code, and in here, I want to have control of this port right here. So it really depends on how you're building your application. Sometimes you need to have access to this, but you just have to make sure that you keep a list of the ports being used, because otherwise, if you have a different service with the same port, it will fail. Remember, I said that with node, port, you can only have one service per port. So if you want to have this, for example, so Command C, and then paste that, and then say, for example, 2 in here, this will not work because this port is already taken in here. So let me just remove all of this in here. And also what I'm going to do actually is, let me just change this to customer. Let's just keep it as customer. So here, save this, go back, Control C, and let's just apply the YAML. So kubectl apply -f customer deployment. There we go. If I clear the screen and then type get service, and in fact we have 2 of them, and this is because I basically changed the name and it left this one intact. So let's just copy this one. So I'm going to copy this name in here and then say cube ctl delete svc and then that name, enter, and it's gone. So get services, and there we go. So now you can see that the name is much cleaner. So customer, and then the type is node port. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop me a message. Otherwise, catch me on the next one, and also have a look. So now this is the port that we've specified in the YAML. So catch me on the next one.